John Travolta's story began far away from the bright lights that would later define his career. Before audiences recognized his famous walk, his memorable performances, and his ability to bring energy to a room, he was a young boy growing up in Inglewood, New Jersey. He was born into a large family where life was full of movement, conversation, and shared experiences. Being one of 6 children meant that quiet moments were rare, but those busy surroundings helped shape his understanding of people and emotions. His childhood home was built on hard work, creativity, and family connection. His father, Salvatore Travolta, represented discipline and responsibility through his working life, while his mother, Helen, introduced him to the world of performance through her own artistic background. Their different influences created a balance that stayed with him throughout his life. From an early age, John learned that success required both imagination and dedication. The family environment encouraged expression while also teaching him the importance of effort. Long before he became a performer admired around the world, he was simply a child observing the people around him and learning from their experiences. Those early years created the foundation for the confidence, sensitivity, and determination that would later guide his journey through entertainment and personal challenges. A childhood filled with creativity. The Travolta household was a place where creativity naturally existed alongside everyday responsibilities. John grew up surrounded by music, conversation, and encouragement, which helped him develop an appreciation for performance. His mother's connection to acting and teaching gave him early exposure to storytelling, expression, and the importance of communication. She understood that performance was not only about appearing on a stage, but also about connecting with others. His father provided another important lesson by showing the value of commitment and persistence. Together, they created an environment where dreams were welcomed, but effort was always required. As a young person, John learned to observe body language, listen carefully, and understand how emotions could be expressed through voice and movement. These skills later became central to his acting career. His childhood was not shaped by instant success or privilege. Instead, it was shaped by ordinary family moments that taught him patience and determination. The sounds of a busy home, the encouragement from relatives, and the examples set by his parents became lasting influences. Even after fame arrived, the memories of those early years remained an important part of who he was. The confidence he displayed later screen was connected to the support and lessons he received during his formative years, leaving home to chase a dream. As John Travolta grew older, his desire to perform became stronger than the comfort of remaining in familiar surroundings. While still a teenager, he made the difficult decision to leave school and pursue acting professionally. It was a bold choice because the entertainment industry offered no guarantees. He stepped into an uncertain future carrying only his talent, determination, and the belief that his abilities could create opportunities. Moving toward New York meant leaving behind the security of his family home and entering a world where success depended on persistence. The city introduced him to auditions, competition, and the challenges faced by countless young performers. Each opportunity required patience and courage. He had to learn how to handle rejection, continue improving, and remain confident even when recognition seemed distant. Those experiences shaped his character before fame ever arrived. The young actor discovered that talent alone was not enough. Discipline and resilience were equally important. Every audition room and every small performance became part of his education. The journey away from home was not simply a career decision. It was a personal transformation that required him to become independent and believe in himself. The lessons he learned during those early years became the foundation for the remarkable career that followed. Learning the craft of performance before Hollywood recognized John Travolta, he spent years developing his abilities through theater and stage performances. Those early experiences taught him the importance of preparation, timing, and connection with an audience. Performing live required complete focus because mistakes could not be hidden or corrected later. Every movement, expression, and spoken line had to feel natural and genuine. Through stage work, he learned how to create energy and maintain confidence in front of people. These lessons became essential when he later transitioned into television and film. Theater also helped him understand that successful performers must remain adaptable. Each audience was different, and every performance required a fresh commitment. The discipline of repeating a role while keeping it emotionally alive strengthened his skills. John's early work was not glamorous, but it provided the training needed for future success. He experienced the uncertainty of auditions and the challenge of proving himself among many talented performers. Those years developed his patience and helped him appreciate every opportunity. The performer who later appeared effortless on screen was built through years of practice and dedication. The foundation created during this period allowed him to approach larger opportunities with confidence and professionalism. The first taste of recognition. John Travolta's career began gaining attention when he appeared in television roles that introduced him to a wider audience. His natural charm, humor, and ability to connect with viewers made him stand out. One of his early television characters became especially popular, allowing people across the country to recognize his personality and talent. This sudden attention changed his life quickly. He went from being an unknown young performer to someone whose face and name were becoming familiar. However, recognition also brought new pressures. The public often connected strongly with the image they saw on screen, sometimes creating expectations that were difficult to separate from the real person. John had to navigate the experience of becoming famous while still growing as an individual and artist. The attention was exciting, but it also required maturity. He learned that popularity could open doors while also creating limitations. A successful role could become a defining image that followed an actor for years. Despite those challenges, this period gave him valuable experience and prepared him for even greater opportunities. His early television success proved that audiences responded to his presence, setting the stage for the breakthrough that would transform him into an international star, becoming a cultural symbol. The arrival of Saturday Night Fever transformed John Travolta from a promising performer into a cultural phenomenon. His portrayal of Tony Manero captured the hopes, frustrations, and ambitions of a young generation. The character's confidence on the dance floor contrasted with the uncertainty of his life outside it, creating a performance that felt both exciting and human. John's movement became one of the most memorable elements of the film, showing that dance could communicate emotion as powerfully as dialogue. Audiences connected with the combination of energy and vulnerability he brought to the role. The film's success placed him at the center of popular culture and introduced his talent to people around the world. His famous style and performances became lasting symbols of an era. Yet behind the public celebration was a young actor adjusting to extraordinary attention. Success arrived quickly, bringing opportunities as well as expectations. John had to balance the excitement of achievement with the responsibility of continuing to grow creatively. The role proved that he was more than a performer with natural charisma. He was capable of portraying complex emotions and creating characters that remained meaningful long after the original moment passed. The lasting impact of Grease. After the success of Saturday Night Fever, John Travolta reached another career milestone with Grease. His portrayal of Danny Zuko showed a different side of his talent by combining humor, romance, confidence, and musical ability. The film became beloved by audiences of many generations and established him as one of the most recognizable entertainers of his time. Unlike many roles that fade with changing trends, Danny Zuko remained part of popular memory because the character represented youth, friendship, and the excitement of growing up. The songs and performances continued reaching new audiences long after the film's original release. For many people, John Travolta became connected with feelings of nostalgia and celebration. However, becoming an icon also created a challenge. When a performer becomes strongly associated with certain roles, audiences may struggle to see their full range. John continued searching for opportunities that allowed him to explore different types of characters. His success in musical films demonstrated his versatility, but he also wanted to prove that his abilities extended beyond singing and dancing. The impact of Grease was not only commercial success, it showed the world that John Travolta had a unique ability to create characters that remained emotionally connected with audiences across decades, facing the reality behind fame. Although John Travolta experienced incredible professional success, fame did not protect him from personal struggles. Behind the images of confidence and celebration was a person facing the same uncertainties and emotions as anyone else. Public attention often focused on his achievements, but private challenges continued away from cameras. The entertainment industry changed, audience interests shifted, and the roles that once defined him became part of the past. Like many performers, he faced periods where success was less predictable. These moments required patience and determination. Instead of relying only on previous achievements, John continued working and searching for new creative opportunities. The experience taught him that a career is not defined by a single moment of success. Growth often requires adapting to change and accepting uncertainty. During this period, he also experienced personal relationships and life events that shaped his understanding of what mattered most. Fame could bring admiration from millions, but it could not replace genuine connections with family and loved ones. The contrast between public recognition and private experiences became an important part of his journey. These challenges added depth to his story and showed that behind the famous image was someone constantly learning, changing, and moving forward, finding new strength through reinvention. After years of changing circumstances, John Travolta experienced a remarkable career revival that introduced him to a new generation of audiences. His role in Pulp Fiction demonstrated that he could move beyond the characters that had originally made him famous. Instead of simply returning to the past, he embraced a different style of performance that showed maturity and confidence. The success reminded audiences that his talent was broader than they had previously understood. This period represented more than professional recovery. It reflected his ability to adapt and continue growing. He proved that an actor's journey can contain many chapters, with each stage offering new possibilities. His later performances allowed him to explore different emotions and personalities while maintaining the qualities that had always made him memorable. The renewed attention also brought appreciation for his earlier achievements. People began viewing his career as a complete journey, rather than a collection of individual moments. His ability to reinvent himself became one of the most important aspects of his professional identity. It showed that lasting success comes not only from initial popularity, but from the willingness to continue learning and accepting new challenges. The beginning of a family chapter. Beyond his career achievements, one of the most meaningful parts of John Travolta's life was the family he built with Kelly Preston. Their relationship provided a sense of stability and connection beyond the entertainment world. Together, they created a home centered on love, partnership, and raising their children. While the public often saw them during appearances, the most important moments happened away from attention. Family life gave John experiences that success alone could not provide. The ordinary routines of parenting and companionship became a different kind of fulfillment. His relationship with Kelly represented a personal chapter that existed separately from his professional identity. Their family became a source of strength during both joyful and difficult times. The connection they shared showed that behind the famous performer was a person who valued loyalty, affection, and togetherness. This period of his life would later become especially significant as he faced profound personal challenges. The love and memories created during these years remained an important part of his journey. For John Travolta, family was not simply another part of his public story. It was the foundation that gave meaning to everything beyond the spotlight. The loss that changed everything. The greatest challenges in John Travolta's life came not from the demands of fame, but from the moments when he faced personal loss. The death of his son Jett became one of the most painful experiences of his life and changed the way he viewed family, time, and the future. Jett was 16 years old when he died during a family vacation, leaving behind a space that could never truly be filled. For any parent, losing a child represents a profound emotional journey that changes the meaning of everyday moments. The routines that once felt ordinary become reminders of what has been lost. John, who had spent decades bringing happiness to audiences, faced a kind of pain that no amount of recognition could ease. The family had to learn how to continue while carrying the memory of someone they loved deeply. Jett remained an important part of their story, remembered through the love and experiences they shared together. The loss also changed the way people saw John Travolta. Beyond the actor, he became a father navigating grief and finding the strength to support those who remained. His ability to continue caring for his family during such a difficult period reflected a quieter form of courage. The experience became one of the defining moments of his life, shaping his perspective and reminding him of the importance of love, connection, and memory. Continuing forward through family. After the loss of Jett, John Travolta and Kelly Preston faced the difficult task of rebuilding their family life while carrying a deep sense of absence. Their grief did not disappear, but they continued to focus on providing love and stability for their children. The arrival of their younger son Benjamin brought new moments of happiness and reminded them that life could still contain meaningful experiences even after devastating change. His presence did not replace the child they lost, because every person holds a unique place within a family. Instead, Benjamin represented another chapter of love and responsibility. John continued embracing his role as a father, understanding that his children needed support, guidance, and a sense of security. The family learned to balance memories of the past with the needs of the present. They continued celebrating important moments while acknowledging the person who was no longer physically with them. This period revealed a different side of John Travolta, one defined less by public achievement and more by patience, care, and emotional strength. The values he learned during childhood became important again as he guided his family through hardship. Love became the foundation that helped them continue. Their story showed that healing does not mean forgetting someone important. It means finding a way to carry that person's memory while continuing to live. The partnership with Kelly Preston. John Travolta and Kelly Preston shared a relationship that lasted for nearly 3 decades, creating a partnership built on companionship, trust, and family. Their marriage existed beyond the public appearances and photographs that people saw from the outside. Like any long relationship, it was shaped by ordinary moments, shared responsibilities, and the private experiences that create a home. Kelly became an important source of support throughout many stages of John's life. She stood beside him through professional changes, personal challenges, and the responsibilities of raising their children. Together, they built a family environment that provided a sense of belonging beyond the entertainment industry. Their relationship demonstrated that the strongest connections are often found in everyday moments rather than public celebrations. Kelly was not only known as a performer but also as a mother, partner, and person who played a central role in their family's story. After facing the loss of Jett together, their bond carried the weight of shared memories and difficult experiences. They understood each other in ways that came from living through both happiness and hardship. Their years together represented one of the most meaningful chapters in John Travolta's personal life. The love and partnership they created continued to influence him even after her passing, remaining part of the family foundation they built together. Saying goodbye to Kelly Preston. The passing of Kelly Preston in 2020 marked another heartbreaking chapter in John Travolta's life. After privately facing illness, Kelly left behind a family that had already experienced significant loss. Her death meant that John lost not only his wife but also the person who had shared decades of memories, challenges, and everyday experiences with him. The absence of a lifelong partner changes the rhythm of a home. Familiar conversations, routines, and small moments suddenly become memories, John publicly expressed his gratitude for the life they shared, while also protecting the privacy of his family during a deeply emotional time. The loss was especially significant because Kelly had been the person who stood beside him through some of his most difficult experiences. Together, they had faced moments that tested their strength and commitment. After her passing, John continued focusing on his children and finding ways to honor the life they created together. Grief became another part of his journey, not something that could simply be left behind. The memories of Kelly remained connected to their family, their home, and the years they shared. Her influence continued through their children and the values she helped establish. For John, moving forward meant carrying love and memories while accepting a new reality, a father's responsibility after loss. Following the loss of Kelly Preston, John Travolta's role as a father became even more central to his life. With his children growing and navigating their own journeys, he focused on being present and supportive. The experiences he had endured gave him a deeper understanding of the importance of family connection. While audiences continued recognizing him as a famous actor, his most important responsibility was within his own home. Parenting after loss required patience, emotional strength, and the ability to create stability during uncertain times. John continued encouraging his children while allowing them to develop their own identities. His daughter Ella pursued creative interests, carrying forward her own connection to the family's artistic background. His son Benjamin continued growing with the support and guidance of his father. John's relationship with his children represented the continuation of the family story despite the losses they had experienced. He understood that grief and happiness could exist together, with memories of loved ones remaining alongside new moments. The family he built became a reminder that life continues through connection and care. Away from cameras, awards, and public attention, his role as a father became one of the most meaningful parts of his identity. Finding peace through aviation. Aviation has always represented an important part of John Travolta's life. Beyond being a personal interest, flying became a way for him to experience focus, discipline, and independence. The process of operating aircraft requires attention, preparation, and responsibility, qualities that reflect the dedication he has shown throughout his career. For John, aviation offered a different environment from acting, one where concentration and technical knowledge mattered more than public recognition. The cockpit provided a space where he could focus on the present moment. After experiencing significant personal losses, activities that brought structure and purpose became especially meaningful. Flying represented movement and possibility, reminding him that life continued to move forward. His passion for aviation also connected with his curiosity and desire to keep learning. It showed another side of his personality beyond the performer audiences knew. While acting allowed him to tell stories through characters, aviation allowed him to experience a different kind of responsibility and freedom. The runway became a symbol of continuation, representing the ability to move ahead while still carrying memories of the past. His connection with flying reflected his broader approach to life, accepting challenges, remaining active, and finding meaning in new experiences, creating new chapters through work. As John Travolta entered later stages of his career, he continued exploring creative opportunities that reflected his experiences and personal growth. His work became connected not only to entertainment but also to storytelling, memory, and reflection. After decades in front of cameras, he continued seeking projects that allowed him to express different aspects of himself. His career demonstrated the importance of adaptability and curiosity. Rather than remaining attached only to the roles that first made him famous, he embraced new challenges and continued developing as an artist. Working alongside family members also created meaningful opportunities to connect different generations. These experiences represented more than professional achievements. They reflected the importance of relationships and shared creativity. John's later career showed that success is not limited to moments of youth or early recognition. It can continue evolving through different stages of life. His willingness to explore new ideas revealed a commitment to growth and expression. The stories he chose to tell became connected with themes of memory, resilience, and human connection. Through continued work, he demonstrated that creativity can remain a source of purpose, even after experiencing major personal changes. The legacy of a remarkable career. John Travolta's career has left a lasting impact on film, music, and popular culture. His most memorable performances became part of the experiences of multiple generations, allowing audiences to connect with his work across decades. From musical roles that captured youthful energy to dramatic performances that revealed emotional depth, his career showed remarkable range. However, his legacy is not defined only by awards, recognition, or famous characters. It also includes his ability to adapt, continue working, and remain connected with audiences through different periods of change. Few performers experience such dramatic shifts in public attention while continuing to find new ways to contribute. His journey demonstrates that a career is built through persistence as much as success. The characters he created remain remembered because they represented emotions and experiences people understood. Beyond entertainment, his personal story added another dimension to his legacy. The challenges he faced showed resilience, while his dedication to family revealed values that existed away from the spotlight. When people remember John Travolta, they remember both the performer who brought unforgettable moments to life and the person who continued moving forward through difficult chapters. The person behind the famous image. The public image of John Travolta has always related to confidence, movement, and entertainment, but his personal journey reveals a much deeper story. Behind the famous performances was a person who experienced love, heartbreak, change, and growth. The world remembers the iconic scenes, but those moments represent only one part of his life. His experiences with family and loss shaped him in ways that audiences rarely saw. He learned that happiness and sadness can exist together and that continuing forward does not mean leaving memories behind. The people he loved remained part of his identity and influenced the way he viewed life. His story reflects the reality that even those who appear successful and admired face moments of uncertainty and emotional struggle. What makes his journey meaningful is not only the success he achieved but also the strength he showed during difficult times. Away from public attention, he continued being a father, a family member, and a person searching for balance. The image of the performer will always remain important, but the human experiences behind that image are what make his story relatable. His life represents both celebration and perseverance. Moving forward, after the music fades. John Travolta's journey is ultimately a story about continuing forward when life changes in unexpected ways. The world may always remember him through famous performances, unforgettable characters, and moments that brought joy to millions. Yet his personal story carries another message about resilience, love, and the importance of moving ahead while honoring the past. He experienced extraordinary success, but he also faced losses that changed the course of his life. Through those challenges, he continued focusing on family, creativity, and meaningful experiences. The person who once became famous for movement and energy found new ways to keep moving through different stages of life. His story is not only about the moments when the world applauded, but also about the quieter moments when strength was required without recognition. The memories of those he lost remain part of his journey, shaping the person he is today. His ability to continue building relationships, creating work, and embracing life demonstrates a powerful form of perseverance. John Travolta's legacy is not simply that he made people dance or remember beloved films. It is that he continued walking forward through both celebration and hardship, carrying the people and experiences that shaped him along the way.